This time on the show, tethering with the Droid, WordPress and Drupal themes the easy way, and we'll be hacking the Cardinal Health Alaris IV system, and a lot more. Actually, we're probably not going to hack this. It seemed a little important. This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by Nokia, Squarespace, and GoToAssist Express. Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
And I'm Shannon Morse.
And if this is your first time watching Hak5,
I'm sorry.
Press stop and go watch another episode of Hak5 at hak5.org or revision3.com/hak5.
We're in a hospital.
I'm in the hospital. Like
yeah.
that would explain my awesome get up here.
Darren's in the hospital. I totally ninja'd my way in. I didn't talk to anybody at the front desk. I was just like, pshoom, and I came into his room.
And there have been fun HIPAA violations.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just going to keep the laptop on my lap because...
Oh, but he's getting
I'm
out, by the way.
Yes, I hopefully, well, actually this is going to air before I'm out of the hospital. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to be here for a while.
Yeah, he'll be here for a couple of days, but
they got me hooked up to
good.
tubes. Hooray.
They're giving him drugs.
Yeah. So,
I'm so jealous of you right now. No, I'm just kidding.
We do have, actually, I just told him to stop giving me the painkillers.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So anyway, twitter.com/hak5darren for what's going on there. But anyway, let's get right into the show. We have an awesome A-blog for you guys, lots of follow-ups. Got some questions at the end of the show. We got it's been a great week for hacking. I know that you've got a review of some software that'll help you with themes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
WordPress.
well, you know what I'm doing. I'm doing the fun hacker stuff like I always do. Yeah.
Sweet.
Maybe we can get Paul in. We'll see. But yeah, we got to do a quick follow-up to, remember last week we talked about how Mubix was sad because his favorite forensics memory dumping program, MDD, is no longer. Well, he is enthralled about Fast Dump Community Edition. I've yet to play with it, but I really need to soon. It seems like a very cool thing that'll run on your Windows 2000 boxes, your XP or 2003, up to 4 gigs of RAM. So, and it's free. So that's
sweet.
Nice.
I like free.
Yeah.
Free stuff is good. Never pay for software.
Yeah, never pay for coffee.
True. Speaking of coffee.
Yes.
You see what I did there? Speaking of coffee, so there's this forensics tool which the government uses. It's called Coffee, and it is used basically for collecting data off of computers in like crime scenes and things like that, just to find out about what's going on their computers. So these hackers somewhere, they came out with this tool called Decaf, which basically cancels out what Coffee does. While Coffee, you stick it on a USB flash drive, kind of like the USB Switchblade.
It's funny you mentioned that. There's actually some Microsoft knowledge base articles where they mention the USB Switchblade, and if you don't know what we're talking about there, just go back to Hak5 Season 2, early Season 2, and you'll see a really cool tool on a USB drive that totally owns computers.
Yeah, so they take this USB flash drive, they plug it into their computers, and they collect passwords and like key logs, keystrokes, and all sorts of different kinds of things.
All that
yeah,
stuff
browser history is another thing on there. So Decaf ends up blocking the USB port. It encrypts like all sorts of stuff, and it keeps. I think it erases like memory logs and stuff like that as well.
It's it's the proverbial giant magnet that the hacker has in his basement lair for when the FBI comes knocking through the door and he does like the EMP blasts on the servers or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking totally Joss Whedon here, but you know what I'm talking about.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and something Topher would do. But it's, the idea is that you load it up on your machine before you get busted, so that if not Microsoft, if you know, some federal agents using this Microsoft Coffee tool were to plug in their Coffee tool into your computer, it would totally lock it down at the last second and kick Coffee off.
So, is it available?
Not anymore. We just did follow up right before recording, and Decaf was taken down by the authors. And we know what that means, because when you delete something off the internet,
it's always deleted off the internet.
For good. This will never be back.
Pirate Bay.
So what else is going on?
Let's see.
Not quite pirates, but how about Iraqi militants?
Oh yeah, that's a good time. So what is that thing called? The Predator? It's pilot free. It's this plane that flies around and it basically takes video of what's going on in Iraq. at the time.
If you've been
Just
playing
plays.
Modern Warfare 2, you know about the Predator.
Yes.
Enemy Predator inbound.
Oh, is that what they mean?
Yeah, that's what they're talking
Oh,
about.
I thought they just meant like, rah!
Predator drones.
Pterodactyl.
No. No,
I
and
was
they're always
so
like
off.
calling in airstrikes.
I should probably play that game so I know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
our UAV is online. That's all you hear from downstairs.
That
in
totally
calls
makes so much
on the
more
Xbox.
sense now.
Yeah. Anyway,
I've just been enlightened.
there we go. So the Iraqis were also enlightened when they could pick up the signals from this surveillance drone by using $26 Windows shareware that allowed them to pick up a satellite feed.
Hilarious.
Not just any satellite feed, an unencrypted one.
Hello? I mean, the worst part about this article that we found is the government knew it could happen.
Yeah, but they got that new hot one. The really new sexy one that nobody knows anything about, and the Air Force just confirmed that it is a drone, but they haven't said anything about. Oh, it's so sexy.
I don't care.
Just being an Air Force or aircraft geek for a moment there, but yeah, you know that's what you get when you don't use encryption. What are we even talking about SSH tunneling for?
So bad.
It's not a public Wi-Fi.
So bad.
It's Iraq. Anyway, so
Oh well.
you know that's. How about something a lot lighter and more fun?
I like lighter stuff.
How about YouTube videos of kittens?
I can have cheeseburger kittens?
Yes, I wish I could have a cheeseburger. I get saline solution. Anyway, WordPress 2.9 is out. If you haven't updated, go ahead and update.
Do it now before you get hacked.
Well, there's that too. And one of the cool new features is something called OEmbed. OEmbed is an object embed thing that basically allows two websites to talk to each other. So they got this new feature where, say, like you want to put a YouTube video clip on your WordPress blog, you no longer have to go over to YouTube and get the embed code. You just put the URL to the video. And there have been plugins to do things similar to this, but it's not just YouTube. It's YouTube, it's Revision 3, it's MetaCafe. It's a lot of the big...
It sounds a lot like the Facebook thing where you just put up a link and then it will
Grabs
upload,
images and-
it'll grab the image or it'll grab a video from it and you can just click on the video in the blog or whatever, in the note, Facebook note, and play it on Facebook.
It's similar to that, except it's even cooler because it uses this protocol whereby the two websites actually speak to each other. In that case, Facebook is just going, oh, we found some pictures and here's what we think is the body of the text. This is saying, hey Facebook, or not Facebook, hey YouTube, this user wants to use this URL, what can you give me? And it replies back with like all of the metadata that you would use to put together the object embed code. So totally worth it just for that feature alone, I think. Vidler, Hulu, Revision 3, and you know, Google Video if it's still around. I don't know, I just love it when websites talk to each other and that it's like totally...
That's cool.
It's Skynet. No, it's not. It's so far from. It's what Ajax would be if it was Skynet. It's been a great week.
By the way,
of hacking.
apparently you can get free Wi-Fi on a couple of different airlines over the holidays until like January 14th or something like that.
Yeah?
Or
You gonna
maybe
link me
it's
up that?
December 30th. Yeah, I'll put the link in the show notes. Pretty cool. I'm probably going to use it for my flight to Missouri.
Yeah, just rub it in because you're flying and I'm going to be spending Christmas in a...
No, you won't.
Yeah, I really need to get better because I've got a flight for Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
And I really want to take it. So, you know, send me some good mojo. And one last awesome hack for the week because it's just been a week full of...
I'm excited about this one.
Okay, so if you were lucky enough to actually get a Nook ebook reader, you know, the new Barnes & Noble Android-based ebook reader, it has been rooted, if you will, just like the Droid last week, and basically allows you to run just about any Android app you could run on that platform on the Nook device, including Pandora. That's awesome.
I get to listen to music while I'm reading my ebooks on my ebook reader?
If you can find yourself a Nook, sure. You know that they're going to have this fixed for the next version. I don't know, like...
oh, I'm sure they will.
How well they will.
But for now, it's pretty cool that we can run Android apps on the ebook reader.
The beautiful thing about this hack, though, is that they didn't go through some serial port. There was no buffer overflow. It was just as simple as opening up the device, and hey, look at that. There's an SD card that's running the operating system. Take the SD card out, put it in a computer, change some of the Linux, because that's
what you get.
That's what Android is, Linux, you know, unlock it.
Yep.
And bam, you've got APK files, which are Android package files running right there on the device rooted. So hooray. Score 1 for the consumers, score 0 for the U.S. military.
That's so funny.
Yes. Now, so anyway, that should wrap up the long-winded A block, but you do have a awesome, sweet segment coming up here real soon about ways that you guys can put together themes.
Your own themes, yeah.
A quick and easy way. Love it. I love
Yeah.
easy. We'll see. All right, but first we do want to thank one of the awesome sponsors that brings you Hak5. I love the freedom that my motorcycle gives me when I'm riding twisties through the mountains or chasing sunsets down the coast. But the servers that I support at work don't seem to have this idea of paid time off, so I don't always get a break. That's why I love the Nokia Booklet 3G. 12 hours of battery life, Windows 7, Bluetooth, and here's the kicker, always on 3G. Because I don't always know where I'm going to be when the Exchange servers have like an MTA seizure or the boss's new laptop gets hosed. But I get all-day connectivity with a sexy aluminum ultra portable that's just under 3 pounds, slips right into my tank bag. I don't even have to worry about bringing the power cord. The intro price is $299.99 with an AT&T Data Connect plan and 2-year activation. You can pick one up at Best Buy exclusively, either in-store or online. Find out more information at nokia.com/booklet3g.
So when I was in like 6th and 7th grade, I used to use geocities.com a whole lot for all of my different websites, all of my different anime galleries and all that good stuff. And the cool thing about using GeoCities at the time was that I could just move around images, and it basically just let me create an example website where I can move everything around and I can change the text and I could see exactly what it would look like while I was doing it, and then I just pressed save and everything was good to go. I didn't have to deal with any kind of code or anything. It was awesome. The cool thing about Artistier is it kind of does the same thing. It creates a theme for you for your WordPress blog or your Joomla blog or blog, whatever you're using, and you don't really have to deal with any code. You can just choose your text and choose your colors, and you can even change the background colors to a certain image all on an example website without touching code. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of an example for this program. I am using the standard edition trial, so I won't be able to save this, and any images that I decide to use, decide to export and check out in Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Firefox will have trial written all over them. So it's kind of upsetting that I won't be able to save any of my awesomely cool themes, but we'll check it out anyway. So when you open up Artistier, it gives you the option to create a template for WordPress, Joomla, Blogger, whatever blog that you decide to create a theme for. So I opened up a WordPress theme, and it gives me this example theme to start off with, something that I can basically just use as an example and start creating off of this. So the first thing I'm going to check out is the background tab. It gives me a whole bunch of different kind of backgrounds that I can use. I don't know if the regular version has more backgrounds, but this one really honestly doesn't have that many to choose from. I like this one, so I'm going to change it to this background. So there you can see that my background just changed. Yeah, nothing special. And I don't really like the color, so I can go over to the side and go to fill color, and I'm going to make it pink because I like pink. So sorry for anybody who doesn't like girly colors. I apologize. Look, my site is pink. So that was easy. I didn't need to know the, what is it called? The hex code or whatever for the color, which is nice. I can go over here to glare and change my glare ratio for my background. Give it a nice little touch. So I have a little glare thing going on over in the corner. And I can change the image or the texture, the gradient, or I can pull from a file to add on my own image for a background. So I'd probably pull from my own file, to be honest. The next thing I'll check out is the header, so I'll go over here. It has a whole bunch of these example pictures that you can add onto your header, so I'm going to choose this chick because she looks kind of hot. And hopefully it opens. There we go. So now I have this hot blonde chick on my website. Pretty cool. Don't like the color again, so I can change that. Under Effects, recolor, glow, and flip. I can flip around the image. And I can also choose my headline slogan, which will be Snub's website, and my slogan text. When you're all done with your page, you can go up here to the little art thing and go to Save As or Save. But sadly, in the trial function, it says the save functionality is not available in the trial version, so I can't save what I just did. I'm only able to try out this demo. What I can do is export a theme. So I choose export, and ask me if I want to create it. I say yes. So I can do that. And the other thing I can do is preview in a browser. So I can preview this in, let's choose Chrome. And you see there's trial wording all over my beautiful layout that I just created because it is the trial edition. I think the original edition for this is around $50. So if you're just looking to create one blog or one website, it's probably a lot safer route to just choose a professional design and go with that one and spend the $50 for a professional design instead of designing your own. It'll save you time and it might even be cheaper, who knows. But if you're creating like 100 different websites and you need different themes for each one and you want to take the time to make it your own, then sure, I think it's worth the money. But it's really up to you. Personally, I'm not going to spend the money on it. I like my WordPress blog the way it is right now, and I like the free themes that are available to the WordPress users. So that was Artisteer. You can find Artisteer at artisteer.com. If you have any cool themes or programs for me to check out, you can find me at snubsy at hak5.org, or you can check out my personal blog at snubsy.com, and I'll have all the information and more details about Artisteer in the show notes for today's episode.
When it comes to providing my users with technical support, my days of flying blind are over. I don't even bother if I can't see their desktop and interact with it. So I convinced my employer to get me GoToAssist Express by Citrix. Now when I take a call, I can instantly connect to their desktop and fix the problem in no time. And I don't need to worry about a whole lot because it's 128-bit secured end-to-end. I don't need a fancy firewall or fancy VPN, just a web browser will do. So it reduces my travel costs. It doesn't waste my time, doesn't waste my users' time, so they can get back to work, and they don't even need to be at the computer for me to fix their problem. If it's not severe, I say, hey Jan, go take lunch. When you come back, your computer is going to be as good as new. So I encourage you to check out GoToAssist Express. Whether you're supporting a workforce or just supporting your family's computer, it is definitely the way to go when it comes to remote support. So if you would like to try it out, you can get a 30-day trial at gotoassist.com/hak5. And again, to support the show, you've got to use that URL, gotoassist.com/hak5. So while I'm stuck in the hospital, as you might imagine, nothing is going to keep me from those delicious internet packets. And while I came a little bit unprepared and didn't bring a Cat5 cable or an interceptor to have fun with these guys, I have been having fun with the wireless, and I kind of brought as a backup plan just simple little thing, USB cable for my Droid to my laptop. And the idea here is to go ahead and tether with the Droid so I can go ahead and get online and browse the internet, yada yada. They do have, surprisingly, this hospital actually has an open Wi-Fi for the patients. And it's one of those things where you get online and there's a captive portal that steals your session and takes you to a page with the acceptable use policy. And it's totally free, you just say I agree and carry on. Sad thing is there's WebSense involved. So I can't go to Facebook, can't go to Twitter, I can't go to Hak5, I can't go to example.com. There's barely any places I can go. But that's WebSense, and I understand it's for the patients. We've talked about SSH tunneling in the past. Not going to bore you with it here. I'll just reference past episodes. But I will go ahead and say that Dynamic SOCKS tunnel working flawlessly. Linking ports locally to like IRC. I've been on irchak5.org this whole time, and between the chat room and the Twitter and everything, it has made my stay here so much better. But let's say, for example, this was a hospital where the Wi-Fi, wasn't open, or I didn't happen to have like a laptop that had built-in 3G like the Nokia booklet, I would just go ahead and want to use my Droid as a tethered 3G modem. Now, I know what you're thinking. I just rooted my Droid, and I will say honestly, it is a matter of moments before a firmware is released, a firmware hack for the Droid is released that allows it to do Wi-Fi tethering. I've been watching the discussion with some of the different Wi-Fi tethering groups and some of the developers, and the limitation at the moment is the fact that I think it's NetFilter or IP, blanking for a second, IPCOP, no, IP tables isn't in the kernel on the phone, so basically we need to do a little kernel modification before we're able to use any of those sweet tethering apps. You can associate, but you're not going to really do anything else with it. So, but I will keep my eyes on that, because as soon as there is a 2.0.1 firmware that has the IP tables in there so that I can actually do a Wi-Fi tether with this, then this becomes, well, I wouldn't say a mobile pineapple because it's not going to be able to run Karma, but it becomes very, very useful, especially in a long, car trip where in the back seat of the, Hak5 bus or whatever, go into Virginia Tech and just fire this thing up and everybody in the car is online. Kind of like a MiFi or something. I will say that I have investigated the 2.1 version of Android. The Droid that I hacked in the previous episode, I upgraded it to 2.0.1. There is a version of the 2.1 Android operating system available that can be that has been hacked and can be flashed onto the Droid. I have not gone ahead and done that because there are some limitations with some of the hardware not working. Specifically, the keypad doesn't light up, which is kind of a pain when you're in a dark room. And I've heard some problems with the camera and some other stuff. So I'm not going to take that risk right now, especially where I am and everything, but hopefully soon. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into just tethering the old-fashioned way. I am doing this in Ubuntu, and I am not using any commercial software. You could use commercial software. You could use PDANet, which is there's a freely available version that that allows you to tether with either Bluetooth or USB, and it's for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And the free version has the limitation that you can only browse on port 80. I haven't played around with SSH tunneling or anything like that with PDANet. There might be a ways around the free version limitation there, but suffice it to say, we want full internet. Let's go ahead and use this script. Now, before we get too much further, I do need to thank the author, Shannon Van Wagner, who put together a 15-step process of tethering your Droid to a Debian-based operating system like Ubuntu. And of course, that leads me to thanking Big Mac 83 on the alldroid.org forums, who basically took this, put together a shell script that does it in a lot less time, maybe about 3 steps. Basically, we download the script, we chmod it +X, and we run it. And from there, we can just go ahead and follow the prompts to get ourselves a little tethering action on. And if we take a look at the script here, we can see that basically this is a really long shell script with a lot of prompts that asks us and goes ahead and downloads what we need and sets it up the way that we need it based on Shannon's original post. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Now, I have already downloaded and installed the Android SDK, and from within the Android SDK, I've untarred that and then copied from the tools folder the ADB executable over to, I believe, /bin, something like that, a path directory so that I can use ADB. ADB is the Android debug bridge, which is going to allow us to send commands to the phone right over the USB cable like a developer. So let's start by running Android Tether. And what is my name? And it is, I believe on this machine, Darren. Yes. I have installed the SDK, and that is where it is. Yes, I do have an internet connection. It is going to go ahead and download the packages that I need for me. I hope that the fact that I have a SOX proxy locally on 8080 isn't going to cause a problem. And it looks like on the Open Wi-Fi here, I'm not having any problems going ahead and downloading the Network Manager, OpenVPN, and OpenVPN. Alright, and we've downloaded the packages, and we're being told not to plug in the USB, so we will move on. And we need to go ahead and edit a configuration script in etc udev rules.d 91 Android rules, and that will open up an editor where we just need to go ahead and replace owner equals username with my own username. Save and close that, and we're ready to continue. Now on my actual Android device, I do need to go over to Settings, and under Applications, I need to choose Development, and check USB debugging. Okay. Alright, so now we need to disable our Wi-Fi here. You can see that I'm on the Care for You wireless, and I need to go ahead and disconnect. In fact, we're just going to tell the wireless network manager here just to stop using wireless altogether. I'm going to plug in the Android. Okay, so at this point we actually need to exit from the script, open up another terminal, run a command, and report back to the script its findings. And basically we just need to run adb devices, which will query the device and let us know if we have actually successfully connected our Droid to the computer. So adb devices, and we do have a device listed here rather than a bunch of question marks, and we got back good results. Now this tethering requires, as you link, a Android application to be on the phone to go ahead and tether. I don't actually have that installed, but this is the nice thing about having the Android debug bridge, is that I can go ahead and download it from my Ubuntu computer and install it. So it's asked me, do I have it installed? I say no, and it's going ahead and installing it on my device right there from ADB. And now on my Droid, I go ahead and open up AsiLink and check service active. So now from another terminal, we go ahead and run Droid Tether. And we can see what Droid Tether is doing is actually just creating an open VPN connection between the Droid and the computer and creating it as our default gateway so that we can actually browse the internet through the Android. Let's take a look. So there we go. We've created an open VPN connection to the Android, which is already online. We're now tunneling all of our internet traffic through there. And I can pull up a browser, head over to the Goog. Turkey Reuben. There we go. That is what's up. So that is tethering with an Android, and you don't even need root access on the Android to do this, which is such a beautiful thing. Of course, I will be doing this again with Wi-Fi when the firmwares come out that allow me to. But for the time being, this is going to be great, especially in those situations where I don't have, wonderful little Wi-Fis around me. And if you have any questions about any of the stuff that you've seen here on today's show, feel free to check out the show notes at hak5.org for more detailed instructions. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and email me, Darren at hak5.org. Thanks.
Manage your entire Squarespace site on the go with the new Squarespace iPhone app. You can post and edit blog entries, upload pictures on the fly, manage content, save drafts, preview your updates, and access your site's stats, including refers, search queries, our subscribers, and more. The Squarespace iPhone app has a completely custom user interface developed in-house to match your Squarespace site's look and feel completely. It is the only iPhone application on any major publishing platform that contains an iPhone native stats interface, tightly integrating your phone, your site, and your data. Try Squarespace today for free at squarespace.com. We know you'll love the service, so when you sign up, be sure to use the promo code HAK5 to support the show and get 10% off the life of your service.
Well, that just about wraps up this horribly lit episode of Hak5 at the Hospital. I hope you've enjoyed it more than I have. And I just want to send a personal thank you to everyone that has been sending so much support and good mojo on the Twitter and Facebook and just keeping my spirits high. And I hope to be back next week with a more normal episode, fingers crossed. So stay tuned for that. Also, be sure to check out our Flickr, our social network stuff. Sorry, I'm still a little loopy. Twitter.com/Hak5. Facebook.com/Technolist. You can reach us at feedback@Hak5 if you want to let us know, how awesome or lame we are. And we look forward to hearing your comments. And we'll be back. We'll be back next week. And until then, I'm reminding you once again to trust your Technolist. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more morphine now. like my lighting is crap, my hair is crap, I feel like crap. Boy. I have a moose.